Hey. I didn't know if it was going to start like that. If I was going to go, hey. Yeah, so
right.
This is our first ever podcast. We don't know if it will be the first, the last. Well, we do know it will be the first, obviously, because it is
Good,
the first.
good.
Yeah. So
that won't be the last.
No, I hope not. So Steve and Dave, two fellas.
Steve and Dave,
two fellas, chatting about, I guess, things that
should be spoken about.
Yeah, by
more. Should be spoken about more.
By fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence the two fellas.
Yeah.
Two fellas.
Just two normal fellas.
Normal.
Being probably not that normal, to be fair. And I think the idea is every week, I'll say week, I mean, maybe not week, but every episode, maybe we'll cover something different. And we thought...
Well, that's the plan.
Well, yeah.
Cover something different, something that's sometimes might be amusing, sometimes it's...
Bit deep.
Nothing wrong with deep.
No, and the idea, obviously, is that I don't know, if someone listening to this, I mean, there might not be anyone listening to it, but if someone is listening to it, it might offer them a little bit of help, context. I don't know what. If something good can come from it, then that's good.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Just one person.
Just one. Yeah. So I think we said about starting with love.
Whose idea was that?
That was mine.
I think it was a while ago, wasn't it?
Because I've had this epiphany, haven't I? About, I don't want to sound like Danny Dyer. I don't normally sound like that, do I?
I've had an epiphany.
With two Fs. Yeah. Anyway, love. Yeah. I mean, love's. We say it all the time, don't we? We love this. We love our food.
Why did you have an epiphany then? What was the?
Well, so I've been going to therapy, and one of the things that
Does that mean you're going crazy?
No. I think I've had some struggles in my life, and I think sometimes you need a bit of help understanding them. I don't think. I mean, I love it. I see a guy called Dave, not you, obviously. Dave.
I'm Dave.
Dave too. He's really lush, actually. Walking.
He's really lush.
He is. We walk in the woods. So we meet in the woods. It sounds.
What's he wearing though? He's lush. What are you talking about?
He's a bit like. Oh my God, he is like. What is that fella called that does the...
Danny Dyer.
No, not Danny Dyer. What is that fella called? Oh, my God.
Philip Schofield.
No! Oh! He drinks his own piss. Bear Grylls. That's it.
Bear Grylls.
So he's like a
Wouldn't you... You're trying to describe someone that's famous and he's known for drinking his own piss.
Yeah.
Of all the things that poor bloke's done in his life, you've remembered him for drinking his own piss.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And he's like,
He's made a lot of money out of drinking his own piss, so if you look at it like that.
When you're out on the hills and you come across...
That's very good.
And you come across a bear. He's got that kind of really...
Ride him.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah. That's probably for another episode. But, yeah. So I see Dave and we chat things through. And a couple of weeks ago, might have been a month, not that it matters, we were talking about love. And my interpretation of love was that it's to be desired, to be wanted, to be needed.
Well, like rubbed in baby oil desired, like.
Well, I think there is that. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone loves a bit of baby
that
oil.
now. That's really unpleasant.
Yeah,
that's really taken a turn for the worse.
I've got quite a deep belly button, so I think that.
Would that be a 1 or 2 finger massage?
I think you definitely have to use the middle finger.
The middle finger.
Yeah.
Well, I've got quite skinny fingers. You've got big fat sausage fingers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think mine would do the trick.
Belly button blasting.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Wow, that's weird.
So, yeah, love. Like that was my definition, and I said to him, "What's your definition?" And he said, when I said mine, he was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And he told me his, and it was like, you know, he was talking about how one of the things that he defines love is his partner buys him like stuff that he likes. You know, like she's got this understanding of him that's quite deep. And understands his interests, and he's a bit quirky, you know, like he'll be walking through the woods and stop and pick up a bit of fungi, and like he'll know all about it, or he'll see a bit of poo on the floor and he'll get a stick and smell it.
I bet you weren't happy about that, the fungi.
Yes.
Dad jokes ahoy in this one, I tell you.
Ahoy?
Ahoy, like
a pirate.
Yeah, one Cornish.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
That's more like Chris Tarrant.
Oh my God, you actually look a bit like Chris Tarrant. Yes.
Well, old and haggard.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a bad comeback now for you. A good comeback.
Well,
no, we'll get
Chris Tarrant. So that was that. What Dave? What's for you? What's your love?
First of all, everyone should go to therapy. I think counselling once a month. I think that'd be a really good thing. I've always said
they
that.
do it in the States.
Do they?
In the States,
well, it seems to be working over there for them.
Yeah, well, headstrong. Yeah, I think it's quite a taboo in this country.
It used to be. It's not. It doesn't seem to be as much anymore, but it still is. So we've got some deep conversations, haven't we, about stuff. Hence why we're at this point.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, you asked me, didn't you? So I'd never thought about it really until you said.
Yeah, so which is crazy in its own right. Yeah.
Isn't it mad that we use that word?
Oh,
love you.
Well, it's just that assumption, isn't it, that it means the same thing.
What does that actually mean? Like for your partner, towards your partner, or your parents, or your children, or like me dog?
I think it's more about like what people, you know, when you say, you know, what to be loved. How do you know when you are being loved? And when you know, what is your criteria for being loved? And I think, you know, as I said, like my
criteria.
Well, yeah, you know, how do you know when you've
got a little flip chart or something? Yeah.
How do you know when you are loved? That's the thing, isn't it? Like, how do you?
Okay, so I feel like I'm loved if someone's kind to me. I feel if someone's kind to me, I feel that's love in whatever level you might think that is.
Excuse me. You see, and that's where it started to get really interesting for me, because and I think I said this to you actually previously, when you say when someone's kind to me, I find that I feel like that's not enough. Now that's not me poo-pooing your definition of love.
You're greedy.
I'm like,
you're like getting your small little arms, like trying to get it round. Are
you saying I'm a T-Rex?
No, I get it though, because everyone's different, baby. Everyone's different.
It doesn't
as
feel,
my girlfriend says to me.
It doesn't feel enough to me. Like, you know, someone. It's like, you know.
But what about? Sorry to keep cutting you. So shut up. But what about if you were just to take yourself away from that and not expect anything? And those small little moments people give you, it just feels amazing. That's what I've learned, to like not really expect anything from anyone. And what's happened is the real good people sort of floated to the surface and stayed with me and given me lots of kindness and love. Kindness and love. Am I contradicting myself there?
No. A little bit, I think.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Because
your definition of love is kindness.
But it depends how much. Yeah, if someone shows me kindness, that's love to me. So I suppose, maybe there's a kindness and love.
Oh, okay then. Let me ask you this question. So
I know I'm jumping in again. If I say what my definition of love is, then maybe it might.
I thought that was it. Love, kindness.
So I like to feel that someone's there for me.
Okay.
If I come home like working sweeping the streets.
Yeah,
like I do.
Nothing wrong with being a road sweeper.
No, not at all. But that's a graft job, not like the job I do.
Yeah,
that ain't graft. Cooking a bit of food, stressful, but it's not like going down the mine, is it?
No.
With me pasty.
No, I do feel like sometimes that would be a nice place to work.
Grafting.
Yeah, you know.
Getting home. Getting down the pub, pint of ale, pint of warm
and
ale.
Then off down the mine.
Yeah.
Mrs.
got the food on.
Do you go to the pub after the mine, or?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah, okay.
6 days a week. Sunday, watch football, get smashed.
Down the mine.
Yeah, down the mine. No, you wouldn't go down the mine on a Sunday.
No.
Just a day off.
Monday to Saturday.
Off. You'd do a half day on a Saturday if you're down the mine.
Okay, yeah. And it's copper in Cornwall, isn't it?
I've no idea.
Or tin. I think
tin. Yeah, not copper. Yeah, no, it's tin.
Tin
mine, yeah.
Tin mine. Tin.
Not anymore.
No.
No mines, no.
No, well, that doesn't surprise me at all. Oh, I don't know. Why you?
That's rather offensive to a Cornishman.
You know, I mean, you're making it sound like...
I've still got pasties.
I should be shocked, you know. Did you know there's no more mining in this part of the world? No.
That's the most... You can do a good impression. That's by far the shittest impression I've ever heard you do. Gone down the mine.
I try not to do, regional impressions.
Locals, sort of like...
Well, because I think it's made up. You know, it's basically pirate, isn't it? That's...
Christ.
You know, that's basically what it is.
Upsetting everyone.
It's pirate. Anyway,
So my definition of love is if I come home from sweeping the streets or maybe cooking a bit of food and someone's there for me and they can just go, "How are you? How was your day?" And I can just go, "Oh, do you know, it was all right." Or if I've had a bad time, I can explain, just to feel like someone's there for me.
Yeah. No, I get that, and you obviously get that from your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say about desire, that makes you feel loved and all that, but my initial thought when we first spoke about this a few months back was, I just want to feel like someone's there for me.
Yeah. So, and again, you know, for me, that conjures up thoughts of like, that's not a lot to expect. You know, and that's not a negative.
No.
Because I think my definition is quite like intense. Like it expects, I should say, a lot from someone. You know, I want someone to desire me, to absolutely like be besotted with me.
But life doesn't work like that. You know that.
Well, no, and here we go. So moving on, like
here we go.
I thought it was like Lorraine Kelly. Hello, sweeties. That's more bloody. What's it called? That's
I'm
more.
ruining this podcast. Fucking move on.
No, I'm not. It's more. What's her name? Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, don't get. I didn't like that film.
No.
Why? Robin Williams, superb. That's another conversation, another time, isn't it? Robin Williams and suicide.
Whole episode. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Stuff
absolutely.
like that. Yeah, I was never. I remember Mrs. Doubtfire. I was always like, "Oh, have you seen Mrs. Doubtfire? I love it." Oh. I don't know. I never. Just part of me didn't. I don't know.
I think it was very early. It was very early for that kind of cross dressing.
Yeah.
It was.
It was really breakthrough.
It was
cross dressing like.
Yeah. It was quite early. It was quite early. We seem to be going off topic again anyway. But yeah, no, like we were saying, so love and our definitions are all very different.
Because you were saying it's quite your definition's quite grand, quite a huge.
And you're saying that's not real life. It's not what you said, but
overall, it's not really. No. Sort of temporarily, I believe that is achievable.
Yeah.
But I think day in, day
sustainable, out. It's almost like, I guess, what I want is, I think we all know that kind of honeymoon period that you have in a relationship. Then I think that, that you probably get that then, that initial period. Now, I've been with my wife. My wife? For 25 years, brother. My wife. I'll say 25. It always feels like I'm saying 25, but
flip this around to you.
Go on, flip it.
What if your better half said to you, my idea of love is that I need to feel desired all the time, how would you feel about that? What would you... would you be able to, I can see in your eyes the way you're thinking now, could you sustain that for how you want it?
Oh, that's really tricky, isn't it? And no one ever likes looking in the mirror. Like, yes, I do think I could. I do think I could.
Okay.
I do think, though, possibly it could get tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not even just not even like the sex part, but just actually that you would have.
What does it look like? Like just constantly being attached to each other, like, constantly kissing, constantly, like, and that, I should probably point out that's not what I mean. I'm not talking about like,
Which was what I was going to say.
Being like,
on
completely,
it all the time,
like you see the couples kind of walking around, they're like constantly like chewing each other's faces off and stuff. That's not, it's not. I guess for me, that love is that just. I guess I want to be the most important person in that person's world, and I think that's really, I guess, what I'm getting at with that. I want to be that kind of desired, that kind of wanted, and I suspect a lot of men do feel the same. I think
I get that, but you probably are at certain points. You can't be all the time though.
No,
you've got kids.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have kids, you couldn't be that desired person. It's not sustainable.
It's not. This was the epiphany moment.
And again, I'm sorry.
No,
you can't. I'm telling you, you're wrong. But actually, no, you're not wrong. But I think I'm coming across too like you can't. No, you're wrong. But I'm not. I'm just saying I believe that's really quite hardcore to sustain.
Yeah, well, it's unachievable, isn't it? So it's almost setting myself up for failure, isn't it? It's like you putting a steak on the sofa and telling the dog not to eat it.
Yeah.
Just the same. It's exactly the same. And,
what sort of analogy was that?
Well, just that analogy. I think so. The epiphany was, and I obviously asked you, and I asked my wife.
My wife.
Do we have to say that every time?
Yeah,
someone
definitely.
Says, my wife. Yeah. Was that everyone's got such a different expectation or interpretation of love, and actually, what was really interesting, one thing was, like you said, I'd never asked her 25 years. And never asked her what her definition.
It's just a word we use.
Yeah, never knew, not a thing. And actually now I know. I don't know, it was slightly Australian there for a second. It was weird.
No way.
Now I know.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie bouncer.
Yeah, other accents are available. I'm trying to adjust. I'm trying to, be more. Not adjust. That's the wrong word. I'm trying to be more attentive. To her definition of love, because I was trying to display what my definition is,
and expecting hers to be the same.
Yes, and of course, when it mismatches, you're like, well, she don't love me.
Yeah,
she's not doing that. She doesn't love me. And interestingly enough, now I know.
Yeah, but you know she loved you. It wasn't that you were like, oh, she don't love me.
No, but I think because because our definitions were so different. Yeah, hers were. She wants someone to accept that she, does have flaws, and that's fine, and just to accept that those flaws are flaws, and she's not great at everything.
Yeah.
And also for someone to help her, like with the kids and stuff like that. And of course, it was a bit of epiphany where I'm like, Jesus, like that's really quite simple. She doesn't really want a lot from me.
Yeah.
I've been trying too hard.
Yeah.
And actually, the amount of times where I've actually said to her, like, do you not love me? And she's like, what are you talking about? Of course I love you. But of course that's that mismatch. So
because you were thinking because she's not all over you thought because you'd set yourself up. Failure, I don't like that word, but
No.
you set yourself up for a fall.
Yeah.
You were sort of up the top, like expecting, and then because it didn't quite, it was like 90% of the way there. It just felt it wasn't good enough.
The expectation was wrong, and that all comes down to communication. And I think as men, we are crap at communicating. I don't know about you. I mean, I think I've proven that I am, but
I think I've always been fairly good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm always all right with sort of saying how I feel about stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I get that. I mean, and obviously, you know, we're sat here. We obviously talk a lot, and we know, you know, we've decided to record some of those wafflings.
Yeah.
But I do think generally, you know, men are a little bit rubbish at communicating their feelings. As I said to you, 25 years, never spoken to my wife about love or asked her what she thinks love is.
I wonder how many people.
Loads.
I wonder how many couples in any relationship, 2 fellas, 2 women, whatever it might be, whatever the term is nowadays.
Thruple.
Should
That's the thing now, isn't it?
Is it a
thruple? We've got 3. I think it's 3. 3 in a relationship's a thruple.
That's awkward, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
I'll finish with you. Next one in.
Well, yeah. How does that work as well? Do you ask each one of them like the combinations of love? I mean, that could get complex. Especially,
I was thinking of bedroom antics. I was like, "What do you like? Just next."
Well, I was trying to keep it PG.
Right.
But then, what if it's a thruple and each of the thruples are Siamese twins?
Whoa!
How does that work?
Well, they're sisters or something.
Oh yeah, I suppose so.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Well, I don't know. I suppose, no, they're from different families.
Oh right, I thought you meant from the same family.
No, because you've got one set of twins is they're obviously brothers or sisters, like the one body, 2 heads kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
You see what I mean now?
I'd completely misread the room.
What were you thinking?
I thought you meant like triplets. I completely forgot what Siamese twin was. I was going to say Siamese Dream, but that's a music album.
Oh, okay. By who?
Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, don't know who they are.
Greatest band
Ever?
after the Beatles. Well, hang on. No, so I was thinking of like 3 Siamese. No, I was thinking of 3 twins.
Oh, right.
In my mind, 3 females.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, but if you had 3 Siamese twin, and they were 6 heads.
Exactly.
Whoa!
But obviously,
that's a lot of head. Well, literally, that's a lot of head.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why we were talking about that.
You said about. Oh no, because I said about couples. So I said about whether it be. I said about a survey. If you were to do, how many people would you ask?
Yeah.
How on earth did we get to that from?
I said thruple, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was trying to be hip. That's what it was.
Don't bother in future because I just get the wrong end of the story.
Yeah.
Sticks. Oh, yeah. That's another one, isn't it?
Such a boomer.
Yeah.
Such a boomer.
I bet you hardly any of them would have spoken about what love is.
No. Oh my God. How amazing would it be if anyone ever listens to this podcast, and they just go after listening, where do you think people will listen to our podcast? On the train?
On the toilet.
On the toilet.
You would listen to it on the toilet, definitely.
Or in bed when they're trying to fall asleep. Something like that.
The couples could listen to it.
Oh, I don't. Do
you
think?
I think so. I think
are we talking Siamese twins again?
6.
Well, no. If there's just one.
Well, then they have a conversation between themselves. The 2 heads.
I don't think. I don't think they can turn around. don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
that is an absolute beauty.
Yeah.
Who would listen? I suppose. So I listen to podcasts when I'm driving to events.
Right, there you are. So if you're driving...
Right, there you are. What was that? It's Danny Dyer coming up.
Danny Dyer trying to be sick. Yeah, so if you're listening to this now, when you finish listening, you got to your event afterwards.
Yeah.
Ask your partner, what is your definition of love, and see what they say.
Do you know what we should, for the next podcast?
Yeah.
We should actually ask a few of our mates, couples. That's completely wrong. We should ask a few couples that we know. They should even just text it to us, what's your definition of love? And then we should read it out on the next podcast.
That's amazing.
And actually, do you know what? That's a good idea. Because I don't think, and actually ask them as well, if they've even... just got the giggle. If they've ever even spoken about it. I'll ask like my parents.
Do you think they'll lie?
It's up to them if they lie. It's not... We can't analyse it and go, are they lying? Like Miss Bloody Marple.
This is it.
You would be Miss Marple. I'll be Sherlock Holmes, definitely.
He's not real, is he, Sherlock Holmes?
He's on the TV, isn't he?
He's not. He's not a real person.
Well, Miss Bloody Marple isn't really.
Oh, yeah, but I think she is.
Is she?
Yeah. I think Sherlock Holmes is a made-up character.
So do you think we need to put... What are we talking about?
Yes, we absolutely do need to ask people.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be quite shocked.
I think I'll be very shocked.
More shocked than I was. I don't know why that matters.
Don't you think you'll be shocked about people's definition?
No, because I think I've already climaxed at that. At that.
It was a pretty, it was a really unsightly thing to watch.
I've already climaxed at that. That epiphany moment. And I think, what if someone says to you, for example, my definition of love is I like when being made cornflakes for in the morning. How would that make you feel?
If we spoke to someone and they said that, how would it make me feel? I wouldn't feel anything because I'd be like,
you're quite a down-to-earth guy, so yeah, I get that.
I love someone making a coffee for me.
Yeah.
Just going, girlfriend going, do you want a drink? To me, that means more than
okay. What if that's all she was to ever do for you?
Make a coffee.
Ever. Nothing else at all. Just made you coffees.
Well, didn't go to work or eat.
No, for you. That's all she did for you.
Well, I don't know. Well, that wouldn't be good enough for me as love. But just those small gestures, and I don't mean that would be good. That would be enough to show someone they love you. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was going. Otherwise, I was just going to go on a slight sidetrack and say, obviously, you could pop down to Costa or someone like that, and you'd be in love with everyone there.
Yeah. True. Yeah. If that was your mindset.
Or the coffee machine in the Esso garage.
Go and stroke in the coffee machine in the Esso garage.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that.
Good shout. Right. Love. What's your definition of love then? Just to round off.
I mean, it's still to be desired, but it's more about someone, wanting to be with me. It's almost like that in the States they have DEFCON 1 and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's now it's more about those nice kind of moments that you have with someone and it's that how you feel when you're with them. And I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can definitively put it into text at the moment.
Yeah,
it's definitely a feeling, and it's something that I'm working on.
That's a really good point, actually. Well made. Could you put it into text?
Well, I mean, we are going to be asking
Maybe.
people to do that next time.
Yeah, but as in, is there a real definitively overriding? I suppose you could say my overriding one is I just want to feel like when I come home from work, someone just wants to just is there for me.
Yeah. 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 Okay. I mean, well, you could say like a dog.
I love it when I walk in.
Yeah. No.
Girlfriend's on her hands and knees wandering around, and then Bogdan comes through.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there then.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're listening, thank you. You have sat through some time,
some dross,
yeah,
and some decent stuff.
Now, don't forget, get up, wipe your bum, and go and ask your partner. Make sure you wash your hands as well. Go and ask your partner. Soap, yeah.
But dry your hands before you pick your phone, because I've done that before.
Yes.
Water all over the bloody phone.
Yes.